Now, when you look at digital media and you look at digitization and you look at hyper customization, yes, then what I can do is, instead of creating one story around that product, which will resonate with, let's say, millions of consumers around the country, I can start creating stories which will resonate with you, Ishani, more than with maybe Shruti or Seema or someone else. Whatever she wanted to get her kids to eat.
Yes.
So that's how we kept the mother always involved.
Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast of Indore Management Association, and my viewers would really enjoy this podcast because I have someone who is very special, and she is one of the first among the few women in corporate India with a career spanning over 34 years plus. She is passionate about business, consumer centricity, gender diversity. She won the top 25 business women of the year for 3 consecutive years, and she is the creator of iconic brands like Maggi, Tata Tea, Barbie, and helped building many brands grow exponentially. She has been serving independent director on numerous boards, giving me immense pleasure sitting next to her. She's the brand actually herself. If Indore had been the brand, then how would you resonate that brand? What would be the tagline and punchline for Indore if you try to build that brand or position that brand in the minds of the people?
It's the only city in the country which has Chappan Bhog in it.
Absolutely.
यहाँ तो आपको आना ही पड़ेगा उसके लिए.
Yeah. So Indore is basically known more for its food. It's the Disneyland for food lovers.
Really?
It's a Disneyland for food lovers. So I'm just curious to know about your journey. How was this idea of Magic Maggi 2-minute noodles was conceived? When you really forecasted that large amount of women would be, stepping out of the home and they'll be doing work, there'll be dearth of time and children will be demanding quick and instant recipes. I mean, how did this idea of Maggi conceive in your mind?
So the idea for the products is not always rooted, as we are taught, in need of the consumer. We had this kind of product selling in other countries in Nestle, and they said in India we've not introduced any food product. We had milk, coffee, all that. Baby food we had. So this was their attempt to try to see whether India could sell such a product. Now, it was an alien product at that time. So the magic and the innovation of Maggi lay in the fact of how it presented itself to the consumer, how it resonated, made the consumer resonate with what it had to offer. A 2-minute cook-up product, a hot snack, which you could not find at that time.
Absolutely, yes.
And which was fast to cook and good to eat.
But the women were having back then ample amount of time, then how did this 2-minute Maggi noodle?
So we were conscious of that actually. It's a very good question because finally, while the product was positioned to children and we built a lot of fun around the product, how they played with the noodle strands, etc., the gatekeeper was the mother. Because she's the nurturer, carer for the child. And the child cannot buy the product on their own. So you had to appeal to the mother. And the way we appeal to the mother is, even the first commercial we saw today, you saw how she sat down and she patted the child.
It was actually searched by me on the Google.
Okay.
And I really typed many keywords to know what was the first ad of Maggi.
So and
it was a black and white. I could find.
So she patted the cheek out of love. That frame was missing from the communication, and I actually went back to the editing table with the producers and got that frame put in. Because it was all about mother's love through the addition of vegetables and whatever else she wanted to add as, whatever she wanted to get her kids to eat.
Yes.
So that's how we kept the mother always involved.
Oh, wow.
But the idea of the launch came from the fact that there were similar products in other countries and can India sell such a product? And the innovation lay in the way the whole thing was put together, presented. And of course, I must tell you that the taste maker, which really gives the taste of the product, was all developed in India.
And it's unique. It's novel. I think it's the secret ingredient is still not known.
Well, it's a secret sauce of the product. It's all there on the label of the product because you have to declare everything in India. So it's all declared. So it's no longer secret from that.
But even if, let me tell you one thing, even if you put in all the ingredients together in the same proportion, I guess Maggi masala would not taste the same.
We took 1.5 to 2 years to design and develop this product. And, as a management graduate, one of the days I used to spend in the kitchen weighing out spices, and if someone had seen
you try to make
after doing that MBA from IMA, what the hell are you doing with the weight scale and some spices? But I've always believed that if you work with focus and passion, it doesn't matter what you're doing. I was helping to create something, and we did have a home economics department.
And what drives your passion? I mean, you were really captivated towards creating the brand stories. You have been, you have that.
So I think, I couldn't. No one could predict the success of this product, right? It just flew off the shelves, when we launched it, that because everything came together to create impact. So that was driving my passion, because we didn't know that. I think my passion came from always trying to do an excellent job of whatever I was doing, and that's what still drives me.
And what
that's a gift, and it's a pain as well, because it makes you put yourself out there.
Yeah, absolutely. and you have been in this FMCG industry since long. I mean, you've evolved yourself. You have seen brands growing. You have seen brands exponentially growing. A lot of changes in effective marketing strategies. I just wanted to know, what is a significant change in Indian FMCG market that you have seen to the rise of this e-commerce? I mean.
So, e-commerce is just a channel of getting product to consumer.
Does it change the positioning of the brands?
Not at all. Because, but I'll tell you what can change. So, it's just an access mechanism, e-commerce.
Yeah.
And so is quick commerce, just another access mechanism.
Yes.
In the old days, we used to call it brick and mortar versus e-commerce. So, brick and mortar was distributors are there. Through distributors, you supply to stores, and then the consumer goes and shops in a shop. Right now, he shops sitting on a chair like you and me are sitting on, and gets it through e-commerce. But what the brand stands for, and how the brand resonates with you, and how you communicate that resonance that you have with the consumer and what you stand for, that doesn't change. Now, when you look at digital media, and you look at digitization, and you look at hyper-customization, yes, then what I can do is, instead of creating one story around that product, which will resonate with, let's say, millions of consumers around the country, I can start creating stories which will resonate with you, Ishani, more than with maybe Shruti or Seema or someone else.
Yes.
And that's what the digital medium is allowing you to do. So it's both an opportunity and a challenge. The opportunity is that you can contact each person in their own space. But the challenge is that you have then to create that many stories. The AI will help you to do that. Artificial intelligence.
And one question that always piqued my interest is, you created this campaign Jagore for Tata Tea. So that was having a special objective. I mean, you wanted to make a significant impact in the society.
May I tell you the genesis of that?
Yeah.
You asked me your question. Sorry, yes.
I really wanted to know. The question is, I wanted to know about the Jagore. How
the genesis.
Yes.
So what happened in 2007 was Tata Tea became the largest tea brand in India. And India was the largest tea selling country in the world. So
Exporter.
No. The largest tea producer.
Domestically.
Yeah, largest tea producer in the world. So willy-nilly, Tata Tea became the world's largest tea brand. And we said, we've become leaders. Now let's act like leaders. And what do leaders do? Leaders create impact. They shift the equation. They make orbit shifting innovation.
Yeah.
So we said, what's the innovation you can do in tea, which is so generic and so linked to the DNA of every Indian citizen, is actually not just to be a cup of tea that wakes you up, but that awakens you to what is around you. And the timing was good because at that time there was a lot of conversation about how the administration doesn't work, how the government is sluggish, and how there's a lot of corruption.
Yeah.
So we kind of put that together and we said, can we create a campaign which every Indian citizen
So this campaign was actually not only about the brand, but it has a next level thought of impacting people or bringing some change or some transformation in society. And that's absolutely inspiring and commendable. Can I have a quick podcast, a rapid fire on my podcast with you?
Yes, of course.
It could be witty, humorous, informative.
It might be the very first time, but so what?
Let's give it a try. So far we have been doing session in a very serious mode, or maybe in a more informative mode. Let's turn it humorous. Okay, so be ready for my rapid fire, ma'am. What's the one thing you can't live without in your morning routine?
Chai.
We are the chai, like the Jagore chai.
No, I have to have my different types of chai in the morning.
Acha, if Tata tea and coffee, they both are good friends, what would Tata tea say to coffee?
यार मेरे को थोड़ी सी अपनी girlfriends दे दो.
Very nice. Have you got a Jagore moment in your personal life?
Oh yeah, but you know those are all very serious moments. So
you don't know. Okay.
क्या अभी share करना है ना Jagore?
Okay, fine. Achha, if you have to market Maggie to aliens, what would be your?
I tell them that look, you completely resonate with this product क्योंकि जब ये introduce हुई थी, ये अपने आप ही alien थी to the Indian consumer.
Wonderful answer. I think no answer can be better than this. Yes, तब introduce हुई थी when everybody was alien. Achha, one word that comes to your mind, Maggie. One word. If I say Maggie,
Love mark.
Tata tea.
Excellent chai.
Success.
Can go to your head. Just remember that you need to stay grounded.
Leadership.
So I'll just add one quotation there, please. So while you fly with the birds, make sure that your feet are firmly grounded. So be strategic, but make sure you can.
Wow, I'm just enjoying this podcast, viewers. I'm really enjoying this, and I could go on and on and on. What was the one word that comes to your mind when you listen leadership?
It's not about you, it's about them.
Wow, that's very deep. India.
An amazing country that needs to grow and needs to do many things because this is going to be the decade for India.
Yes. That's patriotic feeling now. Which Bollywood celebrity you aspire to hire for your next brand campaign?
Definitely Shah Rukh Khan. He's so versatile.
Oh really? Oh, you like Shah Rukh Khan?
See, he's not good looking. Okay,
he is.
He's not good looking. I mean, Amitabh Bachchan and him बहुत फर्क है. But he's so versatile.
You would be liking Amitabh Bachchan because she belongs to your gender. I would be liking Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan is so versatile. उसको कोई भी role दे दो, he'll do an amazing job of it. So that's why.
Keeping the fans. My last question on the rapid fire: how do you unwind yourself after a long day?
अरे यार Netflix ना और क्या?
Oh, you watch the Netflix series?
Of course. Netflix में.
Which of the recent series you watched? That's my another question.
No, I've watched many things. But the recent one I've been watching is Mr. Monk.
Mr. Monk.
Mr. Monk. And you know, there is a Mr. Monk in each one of us. And whenever I watch an episode of Mr. Monk, I say, oh my God, I shouldn't be like Mr. Monk.
Wow, I'm at the end of my podcast at Indore Management Association, and I really could go on, and I'm enjoying completely this podcast. And Sangeeta ma'am is a reservoir of knowledge, wisdom, her success stories, life journeys. Thank you, ma'am, for being so gracious, coming down here at Indore and then being kind, shooting for this podcast. Thank you so much, ma'am. And to my all viewers, have a good day and enjoy this podcast.
Thank you, Ishan.
Thank you.